heat, okay? And by the way, if it makes your face red, you didn't get sunburn, you got starburn. And you start looking at things a different way. Wouldn't it be fun? Look, you all like stars. Do you realize you're circling around a star that's hot enough to where you feel its presence? So you have the right to do things inside yourself besides complaining, besides pushing away the experiences because they don't match your preferences. And you'll find that if you do that, all of a sudden, it's fun. And now when it gets hot, you think about a star floating out there in outer space. And that's one star. There's 300 billion in your galaxy. And all of a sudden, it starts raising you. The sun can be like a mantra because it's hot. It reminds you to bring up the most spiritual part of your being. You can do it anytime you want. If you're driving behind a driver who's driving 10 miles an hour below the speed limit and you're in a rush, you can't pass, let's say, there you are. What do? Instead of complaining, I don't know, Mickey's been known to talk to the driver. I don't think they listen. I don't think they hear a word I say, all right? Why not sit there and say, okay, life has now presented me with a situation. I have no control. I have to relax. I'll do a mantra. I'll use this time, instead of bothering myself about it, I'll use this time to raise myself. So this is what spirituality is. It is every moment of your life realizing we've made a mess out of this thing. We've complained about everything because it doesn't match what we want. And what we want is based upon the fact that we had past experience that bothered us and we don't want them to happen again. And so now we've come up with this entire value system and preference system that is destroying our life. So you get to the point where you start to do some work. And the work I want to talk about to start with is your past, because that's a real problem. If you have had bad experience in the past, and you all have, and you store them inside of you, then what you did is say, I'm going to store inside of me everything that bothered me. Then you're going to be bothered. Why people sit there and say, why am I bothered so much? What did Buddha say? Buddha said, first noble truth, all of life is suffering. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about that you're making yourself suffer by storing all these bad experiences inside. And now you're afraid they'll happen again. When you haven't had an experience yet, you're what we call beginner's mind. You can just experience things. You're open. You should be that way about everything. It shouldn't be that you've collected these experiences inside from the past and you decided, I don't want it. I want to keep them away from it. I don't want to experience them. I can't handle them. And now I have a whole list of things that can't happen in my daily life because they're going to remind me of the things that happened before. Do you all understand that? That's a non-starter. You can't be happy if you do that. I don't care what psychiatry teaches you, right? That, oh, you poor little thing, you've got this stuff stored in there. Anybody would have that. No, you're higher than that. You are the consciousness. You have the right to learn how to let that stuff go. And that becomes the essence of the highest spiritual teaching and the highest spiritual path. It's not about asanas. It's not about gurus. It's not about mantras. It's not about that. It's about, are you willing to work on yourself to let go of this garbage that you stored inside? Because you're going to find out that if you do, the more you let go of, it's not even an all or nothing situation. The more if you can handle the heat the way I just said, talk to yourself about how exciting it is that it reminds me that I'm sitting on a little planet spinning in the middle of nowheres. I can't help it. I tell everybody, did you know that 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun? How many of you knew that? 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. How small is this little dinky thing that you're spinning around and you're complaining about everything? The reason you complain is because you stored all these blockages inside, all these bad experiences. So now when the world comes in, it has to pass through your psyche, has to pass through that. And then it looks like there's trouble, or there's going to be trouble. I'm scared, I worry. Everything has to be the way I want. If you work with yourself, you start, what I teach, and the book talks about that. If I were to tell you right now, it doesn't make any sense for your past to bother you. It's not happening anymore. Do you understand that? I understand if something bad is happening, we can deal with that later. That's bigger. But your past is not happening anymore. If your past still bothers you, there's something drastically wrong with that. You shouldn't be bothered by things that aren't happening. Fair enough? But if I tell you let it go, you don't know how to. No one ever taught you to. They actually reinforce that you have the right to stay upset for long periods of time because something happened to you. In the true spiritual state, great yogis, great beings sit there and say, no, if something happens and it's not happening anymore, I'm going to let it go. I don't want to store it inside of me. I want to bring a pure being, clear being, an open being into the moments that I'm experiencing. I can't do that now because I've stored all this stuff. So the principle becomes letting go. Well, how do you let go? Because right now, if I said to you, it's easy, now I'm done, just let go. Let go of your past, let go of everything. The current moment that's happening to you, don't store any more stuff. Okay? Just when it comes in, accept it, pass it through, don't resist it. Then you can deal with, you can try to raise the world. Okay? You should. Once you're clear, you come out here, you try to help. You do everything you can to help, but not because you couldn't handle what happened. All right? Then you're just helping yourself. If you couldn't handle what took place, then the reason you're doing outside is to try and make yourself feel more comfortable. If you let go of the disturbing circumstances as they happen, you process them, you let them pass through, then when you face the world, you're a giver instead of a taker. So this is the essence of spirituality. So how do you do this? Well, if I say to you, let go of all the bad things that happened in your past, don't let them be in there anymore, that's a joke because we don't know how to do it. We weren't taught how to do it. We don't know how to do it. What we do is open up blogs where we can get other people that had the same bad experiences we do and see who had the worst one, okay? You're supposed to laugh. So we're just reinforcing our right to be disturbed. Do you understand that? That's what we do as a society, as a world. We reinforce our right to be disturbed, and then we wonder why we're disturbed. So in living untethered, I don't start with letting go of your past. I don't start with being able to handle bad situations that happen. I start with, in the current moment, there are things that happen. I call them low-hanging fruit. There are current things that happen that they don't need to bother you. The heat doesn't need to bother you. The weather does not need to bother you. You're bothering yourself about the weather. And the cost-benefit analysis on that is 100% cost, 0 benefit. Am I communicating? You're all business people, right? Would you invest in something that had 100% cost and 0 benefit? You're being bothered by the weather is 100% cost, 0 benefit. Then why are we doing it? Most of you are evolved enough to where you don't eat food that makes you sick, right? You try to have a reasonable diet, right? Would you go there if something made you sick, just keep eating it? Well, why do we keep being bothered by the weather when there's no benefit to it? So the question becomes, take a few of these situations every day that you're bothering yourself, again, repeating what I said, the moment in front of you is not bothering you, you're bothering yourself about the moment in front of you. The weather is not bothering you, you're bothering yourself about the weather by complaining about it. Believe it or not, it is essential that you learn to work with that. To me, that's more essential than your meditation time. That's more essential than these supposedly spiritual things. You go meditate, go to a good state, then come down and complain, right? Come down and be bothered by the driver in front of you, be bothered by the weather, be bothered by what somebody said. It doesn't work. You have to sit there and say, I understand that I'm the only one in here. It's a single occupancy apartment. I'm the only one living in here. The way it is in here is under my control. Outside's not under your control, but inside is 100% under your control. You're the one who decides when to resist. You're the one who decides when to grab. You're the one who decides when to complain. It's yours. You decided to be happy when you got what you wanted, but you decided what you wanted. It's that you're living in your own house and it's a mess, and you don't understand that you made the mess. So you have the right to come inside and do the work every moment of every day. That to me is the real spiritual work. It's every moment. It's while you're driving, while you're picking up the kids from soccer, while you're having a discussion with a friend or with your spouse, and just work every moment of everything. You are in there. Are you willing to do the work on yourself that says, if I don't resist or suppress the moments that are happening now, I won't have to carry them with me for the rest of my life. And I know you're intelligent enough to understand you do carry them for the rest of your life. Somebody says, well, you call out to somebody, hey, Sally, how you doing? She doesn't respond. She's a friend of yours, right? You're going to be weird next time you see her. Do you understand that? It carries inside of you. It doesn't need to do that. It's because you resisted it that it stayed inside. So you finally wake up and you realize, I got some work to do, all right? I got some cleaning up to do inside myself. And it's way bigger than just some spiritual practices. It's about walking into life and realizing life is going to unfold in front of me. That's what it does. Okay? I can't control everything. Life's going to unfold in front of me. can I learn to handle the moments that are unfolding in front of me? Or do I have to keep